Okay. First of all, I'd like to mention you mentioned absolutely nothing of the animals, the people that are dying because of the animals, and my inheritance. People, you mentioned absolutely nothing, and you still mentioned the fact that you quoted that I said nothing about extinction. However, I talked about extinction, if you don't recall. First, if you remember, I said that extinction wiped out the dinosaurs, and that only 6 out of 10 animals are alive because of these breeding programs that you so call extinction prevention. And the natural food, you said I mentioned nothing about that. I mentioned that there is roadkill that they are feeding that. I mentioned that. And you said about the kids, and I like to point out that Al-Fadi also said that the kids are learning from that kids already know that they're teaching their parents, okay? But he never mentioned that they were from zoos. He just said that they already know the fact of that. Nothing about zoos. I like to bring up back to my quote. They are learning from educational purposes nowadays, and a museum would be. He said, Giovanni said that it would not be the same experience as having a real life animal. There are animals that are in the zoos, and it would be fun to see it. There is actually nothing you are telling apart from how big it is, the color of its skin, whether it has feathers, fur, or scales. That is all you are learning from looking at an animal. And he also said that there is no inspiration. Okay, there might be no inspiration, but what's the inspiration of seeing an animal being bored but was just lying around in a cage? While there are zoos that have some sort of big cage, I'd like to point out that there is zootonic diseases caused by bigger cages. Alright? Zootonic diseases and infectious diseases are transmitted when a cage is bigger and has more free space for the animal to spread its natural environments around it. This can cause HIV, West Nile viruses, and tuberculosis, and Somalia and Lyme disease, as said in Life Culture by Sydney Pelosi from Life Central. Also, if we release them back, and this also helped my point when I said that zoos would be sent out to the safari. This would be opening jobs and bringing tourism to other countries, and plus raising the money at stake. All right, this would be opening more jobs. You can see them running around in the forest, and that would bring more people into the wild to want to experience them, such as safaris or tours, like you said. And you said that they fit the regular. And you also said that they have to fit the regular breeding program in order to become part of it. Well, zoos, according to Cindy Pelosa again from Life Centra, she also states that zoos claim to have conservation. However, hardly any zoos register their animals as interspecies. All right, they're not bringing in animals from other countries. They're bringing in animals from countries that they can already bring them in, that they can see them from. There is absolutely no transcontinental bringing of animals. So if all the animals are being brought in here in America, then they are not experiencing the fact that the other animals are being extinct. So that is why we should replace zoos with electronic devices, prove that animals are getting diseases from the zoos, and why zoos should close down.